and I want to welcome you all to our team. We are so excited to have you as part of our team. Today I'm here to share with you about your first show. I know that doing your very first show is very normal for new consultants to be nervous. I remember how nervous I was before my first show. I didn't even cook before I started Pampered Chef, so I was incredibly nervous about doing my first show. But today I'm going to share with you one of the show that the top performers on our team are doing. This is a new cutting edge show that is getting amazing results. This show promises you lots of bookings on your calendar and lots of fun with you and your friends. I think you're going to love it. So here today I'm going to share you, kind of walk you through the show and give you some tips. This show is actually on video from start to finish, so you can watch the whole show and see what I'm talking about. Take notes. We want you to watch it one time and take notes, and then watch it another time and kind of practice along the way with the show so that you get comfortable doing the show for your friends. So the way the show starts out is I tell everybody in the very beginning that I want them to participate in the show and I want them to help out in the show because it'll be a lot more fun if they're involved instead of just sitting there listening to me for the whole evening. So I'm going to make it really fun to get involved because I'm going to give away tickets during the night, and the more they help me, the more tickets they're going to get. So when they volunteer or help do something during the show, they're going to get tickets for that. So we start out and I have everyone go around and introduce themselves and share their favorite product, their absolute favorite Pampered Chef product. And I tell them, if you've never been to a show before and you don't have any of our products at home, then everything is your favorite. Just say everything when we go around, and you'll get an extra ticket for that because everything will be your favorite by the end of the night. But people love to talk, and they love to share about the things that they like. So they really have a good time sharing what they like during the show. So that's how I start my show. And I tell them that if their favorite product is one of my top 3, they even get extra tickets for that. So we start out, and when someone shares that their favorite product is the manual food processor, we want you to learn how to ask powerful questions when you go around. Instead of feeling like you have to know everything about all the products when you start, you're going to learn that over time. You want to take your products out. You want to practice recipes at home. Use the products. That's how you're going to get comfortable with them. But at your first show, you don't have to know everything. But your guests that have been to shows before, they know a lot of stuff about our products, especially the ones that they love. So you want to use them to share about the products. And then it's not so much pressure on you to know everything for your first show. So as we go around and someone says their favorite product is the manual food processor, so the type of powerful questions you want to learn to ask is, great, Jennifer, the manual food processor, tell us a little bit about why you like it so much. Tell us what you use it for. What all do you put in it? What recipes do you use it for the most? If someone's favorite product is our deep covered baker, what do you cook in it the most? What does your family like that you cook in it the most? Do you cook that in the microwave? Do you cook it in the oven? What do you love about it so much? Who else has seen this used at a show before or has it at home and has used it? What have y'all made in it? So just learn how to just practice asking questions about the products. So each person goes around and introduces themselves and shares their favorite product. And then once they share the product, if their favorite product is our mini serving spatula, I say, great, I love that too, and I move to the next person. But if their favorite product is the deep covered baker or our manual food processor or our food chopper, then I want to spend a little time talking about those products. And so I say, who can find Gail's favorite product, the manual food processor, in our catalog? Whoever finds it first gets a ticket. And so I give them a ticket for finding the page number, and then I encourage everyone to turn to page 32. I don't know the page numbers, whatever page it's in, they help me out to find it. So if everybody will turn to page 32, you can see Gail's favorite product on that page, and then everyone's looking at the product as Gail is sharing about her favorite product. So that's a really fun way to talk about some of the products before you start the recipe. Once you get around the room from everybody, and the reason I say you don't need to have them talk a lot about the mini serving spatula is people can figure out for themselves, that they want to buy a $5 mini serving spatula, or they want to buy a $10 item or a $13 item. But people need help to understand why they want to buy the manual food processor that's around $50, or why they would want to buy a rock crock that's around $130. They need a little bit of information on why that product is worth that. And our products are an incredible value and worth every penny that your customers pay for them. But just sitting on a shelf or just seeing that sitting in the catalog, they need to have a little bit more information. So that's why you want to spend more time on those products when you go around the room. So then once we do that, I say, well, thank you guys so much for sharing your favorite products. Now I'm going to share a couple of my favorites before we get cooking tonight. So then I share the top products that I want talked about that didn't get covered when we went around the room. So if the rock crock is what we're using that night, and we haven't talked about that yet, I'm gonna spend a few minutes educating them about the rock crock and the benefits of it, and the uses of that in their kitchen, and why they're going to love it and why they would want one in their kitchen. Or maybe it's the grill pan and press, or the deep covered baker that we're getting ready to use. So I'll pick 2 products to talk a little bit more in depth about, ask if anybody's ever used them. And that's where I get my product information in, that I want to make sure it's covered. Then after that, I just say, y'all come on with me into the kitchen, and we're going to have a really good time tonight. We've got 2 recipes that we're preparing, and if y'all will just divide in 2 groups. The first recipe is our triple layer brownie, and if you'll just gather around the breakfast table there, we're going to be making that right there. And our second recipe is our chicken bruschetta pasta, and we're going to be making that in the kitchen over by the stove. So if y'all will just kind of split in 2 groups and gather around whichever recipe you want to make, and I'll be over there to get y'all started. So when they go into the kitchen and gather around, this is a really fun, hands-on time that their friends can have, together, having fun together and cooking a recipe together. So I just walk up to one of the groups and I say, so who here likes to be in charge and likes to tell people what to do? And just kind of make a joke about it. And inevitably somebody will always volunteer, or they will volunteer one of their friends in the group. So it's very easy to get that person to volunteer. And then I say, great, you have an easy job tonight. You get to tell everybody here what to do. Here's your instructions. And I hand them the recipe and say, you're going to be our recipe reader tonight. You guys go ahead and get started. I'll be back to check on you in a few minutes if you need anything. And I go over to the other group and do the exact same thing. And why this works so well is because you've kind of removed yourself from the equation. It's just like a cooking class, and everybody's standing around making the recipe together. So my shows that I have been doing this at, and our top performers have been doing this at, everyone is having so much fun. And every single time both recipes are made, done, ready to be in the oven and microwave 10 minutes or less. Because everybody chips in and does it. So it's so much fun. They're getting to play with the products. And I'll go back and forth to each group, see if anybody needs any help. And like one group, they were using the manual food processor. And I said, now if y'all pass this around and everybody takes a turn, then everybody will get a ticket. Another fun thing I do is I'll go up to the group and say, has anybody messed up yet? You get tickets if you mess up. Because some people kind of feel like, oh my goodness, I did this and I messed up the recipe. So you want to make it just real fun and lighthearted, and so nobody's stressed out about that. So I make a joke about that. So after we do that and the recipes get in the oven and cook, this is real important. This is how you transition. You want to say, everybody come on back and have a seat. I want to go over the specials with you and let you know what's on sale tonight. Everybody wants to hear what's the special and what's on sale. I put my host in charge of the timing of what's coming in and out of the oven, or what needs to be stirred in the microwave halfway through. So she kind of keeps an eye on that for me. So when we go back and sit down to finish out, I do share the guest special. But when I say I'm going to share with you what's on special, that's really code for I'm going to talk to you about getting your friends together to have a show, and I'm going to talk to you about joining my team. And this is the part that I really want you to spend some time on before your first show. Because here's the bottom line. If you take our manual food processor and you set it out on the table at a show, you'll have some people that would pick it up, try it, and be like, oh my goodness, I love this. I have got to have this. I'll put one of these in my order tonight. I want one of these. But what they're not going to do is pick up that manual food processor, play with it, and go, oh my goodness, I love this. Please get me a date on your calendar. I have got to book a show. That's just not going to happen. Or when they pick up the manual food processor to play with it, they're not going to say, oh my goodness, sign me up. I want to join your team tonight. So the products kind of sell themselves. You know, the more you do this, the better you'll get with the products, but they really do sell themselves. Where them booking a show in your calendar or them joining your team does not sell itself. It's not a tangible item that they can touch at the show that night. So you've got to share that, or they're never going to think about it and they're not going to do it. So we want you to be comfortable sharing about hosting a show. It's very easy to talk about with our booking slide, or just by turning to the host plan in the catalog and sharing. So we have a lot of training for you in that to get you comfortable with that. And then we want you sharing the ticket activity with the questions that we give you the answers for, the ticket activity Q&A. But you just need a few minutes to talk about the business, because if you don't share about the business, there's so many people in that room that night. At every single show, there's at least 2 people that would take a look at a business like this. And you never know who might be sitting in that room that could really use a business like this, and that this business could change their life, because it's completely changed my life. So we want you to be comfortable sharing about those things at your show. Then do your strong close with a door prize slip, and then do your full service checkout. And that's it. That delivers a really great show. So we're going to help you with those key pieces. We've got training for you in the strong show opening. You can watch the video on how to do the introductions, how to do the hands-on part. Then we have training for you on talking about bookings, talking about the business, the strong close with the door price slip, and then a full service checkout. And that will help you deliver a great show. To make this really simple to walk through, we have these show cards for you. And I didn't have a printed copy today, so you can see them on the iPad. But you actually can just print these off. You have the link for this. You can print these off. And then these cards walk you through every single step I just shared with you. So if you just take these to your show and read right off of these cards, and it's perfectly fine to read these as you do your show. You can print these on cardstock or you can print them on paper, but if you have cardstock, then it actually works. It's like, flashcards that you can use. But they give you the steps that you need. So I'm really excited about helping you get started. I look forward to working with you, and thanks for taking the time to watch this. You're going to do great.